Hi, this is Mrs. Lloyd, and today we're going to talk about adding and subtracting linear expressions. When you add or subtract a linear expression, you're really just combining like terms. The one thing to remember is if there is a subtraction sign, we have to distribute that subtraction like it's a negative sign, and I'll show you that. Let's look at number 1. 3x squared minus 3 plus 5x squared minus 1. We're just going to combine like terms because this is addition. I see a 3x squared plus 5x squared. That would be 8x squared. And then I see negative 3 minus 1. Negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. 8x squared minus 4. Let's look at number 3. 1 minus x squared plus 2 plus 2x. So when I see that I have an exponent term, I always look to see if there are any others. And it looks like the only one I have is negative x squared. Then I'm going to look for any x terms. And the only one I see is plus 2x. So it looks like my constants are the only two terms that I need to combine. 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. Negative x squared plus 2x plus 3. You'll get to the point that you don't need to underline, circle, or do any of that with your terms, and if you're there, that's fine. But until you're making sure that you're combining the correct like terms, I suggest that you do something as you work through these problems. Number 5 is one we need to talk about. 5n plus 1 minus 3n plus 4. This minus is the same thing as a negative 1 that I need to distribute. So that's how I'm going to think about that. There's a negative 1 here. So negative 1 times 3n is negative 3n. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Do you see how to change both signs inside the parentheses? My first set stays the same. And now we can combine like terms. 5n minus 3n. 5 minus 3 is 2. 2n. And then I have a 1 minus 4. 1 minus 4 is negative 3. 2n minus 3. And the same thing happens on number 7. This is a negative 1, so negative 1 times 5p is negative 5p. Negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. No change to my first set. I have a negative 2p minus 5p. Negative 2 minus 5 is negative 7p. And then I have left 4 minus 5. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. Minus 1. Try 2, 4, 6, 8. Pause the video and then come back and check your answers. Number 2, 3n to the third plus 7. Number 4, 4a plus 3. Number 6, negative 3v minus 2. And number 8, r squared plus 5. We have a few more. I'm going to do 11 and 13 and leave the others for you, but I did want to talk about these fractions again. When we did our distributing lesson, we talked about how fractions work, so let's just review that. Number 11, 1/2 times 6x. Well, what is 1/2 of 6? 3x. 1/2 times negative 10. Well, what is 1/2 of 10 or negative 10? Minus 5. And now we have to finish this problem. This time we're distributing a 1/4. What is 1/4 of 4? Well, 4 divided by 4 is 1. And 1 times 1 is 1. So that is just plus x. And what is 1/4 of 8? 8 divided by 4 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 2. And now we combine like terms. 3x plus x, 4x, negative 5 plus 2, minus 3. And let's do a different fraction, 3/4. What is 8x divided by 4? That's 2. And 2 times 3 is 6 with our x. What is negative 12 divided by 4? That's 3. And what is 3 times 3? 9. And now we're distributing just a whole number, minus negative 3 times 2x, negative 6x. And watch closely here. What is negative 3 times 5? Negative 15. And now combine like terms. Well, 6x minus 6x is 0x, and anything times 0 is 0. We don't even need to write that. Negative 9 minus 15 is negative 24. Why don't you try 9, 10, 12, and 14, and then come back and check your answers. Number 9. I made a mistake because I didn't distribute my negative, so I had to fix that. Negative 8n squared minus 3n. Number 10. Negative 7m squared plus 3. Number 12. Remember your trick about dividing by the denominator and then multiplying by the numerator. 5x minus 16. And number 14. Negative 4a plus 5. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.